In this video, we're going to be solving multi-step equations. So here's the first one. Now, if you already have an idea what to do, I'd pause the video and try and do it on your own and come back and see how you do. Now for me, I draw this dotted line down here. Draw a red line straight down so that I could separate my two sides. Because what you're going to find, let's see here, I need to cross, I'm just hitting random buttons here. What I like to do is I like to cover mine up. So I like to go here and cover up the right hand side. Now you're going to look over here on the right hand side and you're going to figure out what you can put together. Well, I have my x. Do I have any other x's over here? I do not. So my x stays here. Then I will either underline or circle my other numbers. Well, here, -4 plus 7 is +3. That equals, because see the red line is the equal sign. So now if I go and I cover up the other side, now I look on the right hand side, what do I have? Well, I just have a 5. Well, I don't need to do anything or combine it with anything, so I'm just going to put a 5 here. Now you just solve this like normal. You should subtract 3 from each side, and I'm going to put x equals 2, and I'm going to box my answer. Now to remind you on how to check this in the calculator, you're going to put the left-hand side into y1, right-hand side into y2. You're going to press second graph. You're going to go look and see where y1 and y2 are the same. Whoops, that's a y1 and a y2. To see where x is 2 if y1 and y2 are the same. So as I pull up my calculator here, I'm going to go to y equals, and I'm going to put in there x minus 4 plus 7, and down here in y2 I'm going to put in there 5. Then I'm going to press second graph. I'm going to look and see where x is 2. There it is. y1 and y2 are the same. That means that I am correct. Next problem. Pause the video, come back and see how you do. Okay, right here I'm going to look and see. Let me pull my little blinds thing going on here. I'm going to cover up the right hand side. You can do that by using your hand or a calculator or anything. I'm going to put together, well, those are my x's. Here's my units. I only have a 1, so there's only one of those, so I put 1. 4 minus 6 is minus 2x. Well, I put these together and I just combined them. Now I go and I look, is there anything on the other side? Nope, it just says 5, so I'm going to put equal 5. So now, from here, I'm going to subtract 1 from each side. I get -2x equals 4. I'm going to divide by -2. X equals -2. Again, to check, you put the left-hand side into y1, right-hand side into y2. So I'm going to pull my calculator up here, go to y equals, I'm going to put in there 1 plus 4x minus 6x, and go down here, and that's equal to 5. Second graph. I think the answer is -2. Whoops, I went too far. There's -2. y1 and y2 are the same. They are both 5. That means I got it correct. Next, again, pause the video and come back and see how you do. Alright, draw my dotted line. Now if you cover up this side over here, let's look on the left-hand side. Well, all I have is a 13, so I'm going to leave it as 13 equals, and I'm going to go over here to the other side. Well, it doesn't want to move. There we go. All right, now what do I have? I have a 1. That's by itself. And then I have 3x and minus 5x. So those two can go together. So I've got 1, and then 3 minus 5 is -2x. So now from here, to be able to solve, I subtract 1 from each side. 13 minus 1 is 12 equals, these cancel, -2x. I'm going to divide by the number with my x, so I'm going to divide by -2. So here I get -6 equals x. Or you can write it as x equals -6. Either way is correct. There's the next one. Pause the video and then come back and see how you did. Let me draw my dotted line here. Now, you notice there's a parentheses around this. This means two groups of x minus 1. Well, what I do is, right here, we're going to do the distributive property. And I call it hippity-hoppity, just trying to find something to rhyme with it, to remember. Hippity-hoppity, distributive property. You take 2 times x, 2x. Then you take 2. Don't forget this. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. A lot of people try and tell me it's 1 because they take 2 minus 1. You're not adding and subtracting, you're multiplying. Set that equal to 2. You now are going to add 2 to each side. These cancel. 2x equals 4. Divide by 2. X equals 2. Go in the calculator, put the left-hand side into y1, right-hand side into y2. So I'll pull up the calculator, go to y equals. You're going to put in there 2 parentheses, x minus 1, parentheses. Down here in y2, I'm going to put this right-hand side, which is 2. Now I'm going to press second graph. I'm going to go to where x is 2. And if y1 and y2 are the same numbers, they sure are, that means I'm correct. The next one, pause the video, come back and see how you do. Let me draw my line here. Hippity-hoppity distributive property, 2 times 3 and 2 times 2x. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 2x is 4x equals, this comes here, negative 6. Now solve the equation. The 6 comes over. I subtract 6 from each side. I get 4x equals negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. I'm going to divide by the number that's in front of x. I'm going to divide by 4. And I get x equals negative 3. Again, we're going to check the exact same way. Put the left-hand side into y1, right-hand side into y2. So here's my graphing calculator. Go to y equals. I'm going to put 2 parentheses, 3 plus 2x, parentheses, and go down here to and get negative 6, second graph. I think the answer is negative 3. Yep, y1 and y2 are both negative 6 right there. That means that I'm correct. There's the next one. Pause the video and come back and see how you did. I'm going to draw my line to keep it balanced. Let's cover up the right-hand side. Well, I've got 4 times 3x and 4 times negative 4. 4 times 3x, that's 12x. 4 times negative 4 is negative 16 equals. Now, if I go and I cover up the other side, well, come on, there you go. There's nothing else there except for negative 16, so I'll subtract 16 from each side. Now, from here, I can add 16, and these cancel, and I get 12x equals 0. I'm going to divide by 12. X equals 0. There's my answer. Again, let's go in the calculator. Left-hand side into y1, right-hand side into y2. I check every time to make sure that I get the correct answer. I go to y equals, clear them out, 4 parentheses, 3x minus 4, and in y2 I get negative 16. Second graph. Where x is 0, sure enough, y1 and y2 are the same numbers. That means I'm correct. Next one, pause the video. Oops, sorry. Pause the video, come back and see how you do. Drawing my line, I'm going to do hippity-hoppity, Now look, this one's a little bit more because it's got this number in there. You do not multiply the negative 4 by that. Well, wait a minute. I didn't even cover up my right-hand side. Cover up the right-hand side. There we go. Now, in order of operations, you do the parentheses first. So I'll do this here, and I'll get negative 4x. Negative 4 times 3 is positive 12. Now this, notice this is not in the parentheses, so you can't multiply it. You just bring it down. Minus 3. And that equals, cover it up. Let's see. Oh, it's not one. There we go. That equals 9. So now, from here, let's see if I can move that 9 down just a little. There we go. Now from here, I'm going to combine like terms because look, these two things. Actually, I shouldn't even have left my thing there because my shading. Right here, these two need to go together. There's no other x's, so I leave it as negative 4x plus 9. Okay, so I put the 12 and the minus 3 together, and that equals 9. Solve it like a regular equation. Subtract 9 from each side. I get negative 4x equals 0. Divide by negative 4, and x equals 0. Again, putting it in the calculator, you do it the same way. Whoop, let's see here. Bring up the calculator. Let's go to y equals, and I would clear them out, and I'm going to put into y1 negative 4 parentheses. X minus 3 parentheses, and in y2 I'm going to put in there 9. I'm going to press second graph. I think the answer, wherever it went right here, is 0. So I'll go here and look. Well, it says I'm wrong. So what happened? Oh, look, I forgot to put in there that minus 3. So I need to go all the way over here and put minus 3. So you have to put the entire thing over here into y1. All of this goes into y1. Then the right-hand side into y2. So if you look at what I have here, now I have it all in there. Now when I press second graph and I go to look at 0, sure enough, y1 and y2 are both 9. That means I'm correct. Look at the next one. This one says, which of the following equations represents the second step in this solution process? Well, first off, what do you do in this one? If I cover up this on the left-hand side, the first thing I'm going to do is the distributive property. I'm going to multiply these two right here. Do you multiply by the 1? No, you do not. Don't multiply by this. So I'm going to have 18x plus 6 plus 1 equals negative 79. Well, here it is, this answer right here. Now, if you want some other ones to practice right here, there's some that you can put in there and practice, and then you can use your calculator to check and see if you got the right answer or not.